Hey everybody, it's Ryan here. Thought I would do a short little review here for the DLC for A Hat in Time, which is out now as of March 31st on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Though notably it has been out on Switch and PC for quite a bit. I had some time to play with it and complete it. I'm not going to bother asking you to subscribe for a short video like this, even though the sheer mention of it kind of just contradicts that. But I will say if you end up liking the video, definitely give it a thumbs up after. And of course, if you didn't like it, don't be afraid to give it a thumbs down. I'm all about the honesty here. A Hat in Time is one of those games that kind of flies under the radar, and then a friend mentions it to you in passing and you say, "What in the hell is that?" And they ask you to calm down. You're scaring them. You apologize and they accept. The two of you embrace, and then you begin to kiss. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Where was I? Oh, right. A Hat in Time is a cute little platforming game created with clear inspiration from the Mario 3D platformers and even some Spyro and Donkey Kong 64, as well as others. At first glance, it appears like it's just copying those games. It's a clone, with different assets and levels, but very quickly as you delve deeper, you discover it has a personality all its own. You meet mafia goons and shady crows, crazy birds, and more. It gushes with personality and homages to old school 3D platformers. Its controls are tight. Visually, its style is that of a cartoonish flair kind of, and it is incredibly creative with its levels and different power-ups you can get across your journey. In comes Seal the Deal and Nyakuza Metro, the game's two DLCs. Though Seal the Deal has been out for 3 years on PC, and 2 years on Switch, and Nyakuza Metro has been out for about 2 or so. Finally, the DLCs have graced the PlayStation and Xbox consoles, and that means I finally had a chance to check them out. Let's start with Seal the Deal. You're going on a cruise ship in a new chapter, Arctic Cruise, going through an Arctic type environment, hence the name. You meet some new characters, from a grizzly seal who's the captain of the ship, to the absolutely adorable little baby seals who are the crew. I actually think they hold up quite nicely compared to the main game in terms of quality.
Something that looks like this? Where have I seen that? Thinking very hard.
The ship itself is basically your main area of exploration here, though you will travel through and complete the various tasks through the various acts. You're basically stuck on board the ship. On the one hand, it can kind of be rewarding as you begin to memorize and understand the design of the ship as you travel around, but also frustrating because it feels like it's just a giant maze. Maze on water, but a maze nonetheless. Imagine going through an area only to realize you have to go around because a path is blocked or it leads you past where you needed to go. That's just kind of how it is. I enjoyed the aesthetic and even the pacing of the level, but didn't come without a few frustrations. Of course, this content is locked until you get about 35 timepieces, so it assumes you have the rest of the hats and badges unlocked. And while you won't unlock anything new aside from some new cosmetics and what have you, nonetheless, it makes you use most of your tools and doesn't put any to waste. And it takes advantage of Hat Kid's more agile nature compared to her 3D platforming siblings, where she can run up almost any surface, allow you to climb onto pretty much everything that there is. That being said, gameplay overall, and this goes for both of the DLCs, is still fairly solid, and it does expect you to be rather precise at times, which makes the new chapter and the other chapter fairly difficult at times, but nothing is insurmountable. I didn't notice anything really new about the audio here too, aside from some new characters and voices. Everything else is pretty top-notch and just oozes, again I say oozes, with personality.
Are we ready to sail?
Seal the Deal also adds a Death Wish mode, which is basically a challenge mode that has you collecting stamps by completing various challenges throughout the various stages and worlds, and it adds some fun and punishing challenge to a game that was pretty easy by itself. I toyed with some of these and they add some replayability to the game if that's something you're interested in, and overall, part of the fun of the game is platforming, so why not test your mettle? Also, I have never said test your mettle in my entire life until just now. This must be what it feels like. Overall, I really enjoyed this DLC despite the issues that I mentioned earlier. Nyakuza Metro is different than some of the other worlds in the game where it has you drop in free roam and you're really able to get all the timepieces in whichever fashion you want, whatever order you want, which I thought was cool and reminded me of the free roaming nature of like a Donkey Kong 64, Super Mario 64, and even Odyssey. You join a cat themed gang and it's very Japanese inspired and themed, and it can even give something of a Yakuza vibe. I mean, take out the N in Nyakuza and that's what you get, Yakuza. Even some of the imagery seems to be toying with the idea that this is kind of a, I don't know, low budget Yakuza type operation here. And visually it speaks to how A Hat in Time has no theme or style that it can't manage to create into a fun and whimsical gimmick to then sweep you into its world. From the beginning, roam at your leisure and run around the metro. We even meet some street vendors that sell new cosmetics and food. The food section itself is particularly funny as the narrator describes the various delectables. There's subway cars to collect to make it easier to faster to travel as well. It doesn't have any currently existing characters in it, but even so, it's a fun romp through a more metro type area with a new character, or should I say caricature. That wasn't really that funny, but I had to say it that way for your benefit. There's a similar level of confusion when traversing the world, though it's not as bad as the cruise ship. It still made me think that this game needs a map of some kind. Unless there is a map and I'm forgetting, in which case, disregard that entirely, I'm stupid. Nyakuza Metro also reminded me of A Hat in Time's penchant for having large set-piece type finales to its levels that are just too good to forget. Seal the Deal also has this, and it reminded me of how distinctly different this game is again, even as it pays homage and honors the games that it's clearly inspired by. I can't talk, apparently. Also, the new content comes with a 60 FPS mode for the PS5 and Xbox, and trying it out for my entirety of playing the DLC, I had no issues with frames dropping, and it just felt smoother and much more fun to play. Both DLCs go for $5, so for $10, there's just a wealth of extra content to sift through, and I know it's going to keep me going back for some time. If you've never played A Hat in Time before this, these should fit seamlessly into your playthrough, and I recommend both DLC packs without hesitation. Anyway guys, that was just a shorter review of the 2 DLCs for A Hat in Time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to comment and let me know what you think. I'll see you later, and thanks for watching.